Hello everybody and welcome to today's Sunday edition of Live at the Waterhole. You are all very, very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's 11 o'clock here on the 14th of December. And we are starting here at Stony Point where the sun is out. Strangely enough, it is not here in the Lowveld today. But my name is Kelly and I'm going to be with you for the next couple of hours. We will be dancing around our fabulous cameras to see what we can see. Gabby, you are saying it is time for the waterhole waddle. Thank you very much for that, Gabby. And I believe Jasmine has sent us in a delightful ditty to start off the show. We waddled, we wiggled, we quacked as we rolled down to the waterhole, reckless and bold. Kelly slipped, splat. I laughed at that. Now we're two soggy ducks with a story retold. That's beautiful, Jasmine. Thank you so much for getting us off to a poetic start. But please do remember we are live and interactive. We love to hear from everyone, poetic or otherwise. Please do get involved in today's show. It is everyone out there that makes the show so special. If you have never got in touch with us before, please do so. We will get through as many poems or messages or questions as we possibly can. You can engage with us either via WhatsApp on X at Wild Earth, Facebook at Wild Earth Live, Instagram Wild Earth Official, or on our YouTube channel at Wild Earth. I would love to hear what you've all been up to. If you've got any questions, I always disclaim at the start of the show, if I do not know the answer to something, I will not cheat. We all know it is far too easy now to dig around and find things very quickly, but if I do not know, I do actually enjoy setting myself homework and going away and doing some formal research with either books or science-based papers. And I will come back with some more information for you. Tilly, you're saying you've got so much love for the charming little penguins that call Stony Point home. They are really quite delightful, these penguins. They're an absolute pleasure to watch. I haven't actually spent too much time watching penguins, I was going to say in the flesh, but in the feather. I have been to Stony Point twice, I think, in all the many years I've been in South Africa. I actually spent more time watching penguins in New Zealand, to be honest. Lenny1, hello to you too, Lenny1. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon or this morning, wherever you may be in the world. You are very, very welcome. I always find penguins have got lots of character. If they're moving, they're always very endearing. Endearing to watch. Their grooming and their social habits. It's amazing how nature designs these eclectic array of beasts and beings that we get a chance to watch here on the cameras. I think it was these are African penguins, but I think I saw the little blue penguins in New Zealand. Sadly, they weren't blue, which was very sad. But we spent a lot of time sitting by some fairly ugly, disused diesel tanks because that's where they slept at night. So that was our view for getting sightings of these very special little penguins. Hello, Roz. Thank you very much for being here. It's great to be back. I have many stories to be told. And Roz, you're joining us from a hot and sunny George in the garden route. I've actually got a very good friend who stays in George. It's most definitely not hot and sunny here today. I think it can't be more than about 22 degrees today. We've had lots of good rain here in the Lowveld. Everywhere is popping. All the animals and insects and birds are going absolutely crazy. I am back outside today. It's a bit windy here today, so I'm mildly concerned about my internet, but we will see how it goes. My internet does not enjoy windy conditions for whatever reason that may be. And I did make a vow to not do this from outside again. My last show that I did from outside, there was a rather large black mamba that was probably no more than 6 meters away from me. So I decided to go back indoors. But my internet doesn't enjoy doing it from other rooms. So here we are outside on a lovely, cool Sunday here in the Lowveld. Rupert, you are saying you've heard that they smell. Is that true? Yes. Penguins are a little bit stinky. I'm sure they wouldn't be quite so bad if they were sort of, just in pairs, but when you get big colonies of penguins together, they can be a little bit whiffy. But still incredibly endearing. They look like they're posing for the camera. See me and my pretty penguin face. Lovely, I think that will be super. Let's leave these penguins posing so beautifully and head across to Lantora. See who we have drinking there today. I do really enjoy this camera. I enjoy the level, it's nice low level. It really feels like you're part of the action. Hello, impalas. No, come back. You get some gorgeous reflections on this camera as well. There was a little monkey here a while ago that was it a monkey or a baboon? Maybe it was a baboon. Yeah, I think these impalas are a little bit shy. Maybe they didn't know they were going to be on camera and they haven't sorted their faces out maybe. But was it a baboon or a monkey? I can't remember. But we thought that maybe a little one had lost mum and there was some slightly strange behaviour going on. I think it was a baboon. But I certainly haven't heard any updates of any sad tales here, so hopefully they were reunited. Yes, confirmed, it was baboons. It looked quite poorly, a young baboon that was here. But as I said, we haven't had any updates of any sad events, so hopefully a little one was maybe we'll imagine it all, and Mum was just having a break. Mum was just leaving the little one with alternative relatives for a little while, having a bit of a mum time. It looked like that branch just tickled his leg. Get off. But it is amazing being able to follow up on things that have been seen or observed on these cameras. My first update I would like to share. I can't remember when I found that nest or when I was last here. I had a flycatcher nest, beautiful paradise flycatcher nest, very close to the garage. Managing to get some really nice pictures. I was very excited about, and they were both male and female were super relaxed. I was working in the garden and walking past right underneath the nest, and they didn't mind, they didn't get upset, they didn't fly away. But then the day before yesterday, I came back, actually spent 2 days in the Kruger, and as I came back, there was birds shouting and squabbling, and I looked, and there was a boomslang right in the same tree as the nest, and the parents were chasing it and mobbing it, and I sort of moved away, see what was happening, and then a bit later I went back and both parents have gone. So I can only assume that if there was chickies or eggs in that nest, then they have gone, which is very, very sad. But it is nature. It is very sad, but it is the way nature intended. But maybe they will lay another clutch. But let's head across to El Doño. I think we've got some magnificent eland coming down for a drink. I know I'm certainly seeing, well, I noticed in the park, animals do disperse after good rain. But I'm not actually sure. I've never been to, oh, look at these. Oh, look at that big one. They're huge. I've never been to El Doño, so I'm not entirely sure sort of what the water resources setup is. I'm not sure where the next nearest water would be. But I do tend to find this time of year, oh, stunning, stunning animals, these. If you would like to visit any of these areas and maybe see some of these stunning eland, you are welcome to get in touch with Wild Earth Travel, and they will be able to advise on where that might be possible. It's funny, eland, the most time I've spent around eland really was actually at Mabulla not that long ago, and they're quite nervous for such big antelope or such big animals. They seem quite twitchy, quite edgy, often known to move away. They've got quite a short flight response distance, if you like. Often quite twitchy for such big animals. You would think maybe they might be more confident. They wouldn't have as many adversaries or predators as some of the smaller antelopes. There's no way a leopard would take an adult eland, unless anyone can prove me different. I would love to hear it if you can. A young one, yes. But groups of adults like this, the leopard would be foolish, in my opinion. Although I have heard a story about a big male leopard killing a male kudu. I've also heard a story about a big male leopard. I don't think it wasn't an adult giraffe, possibly a young giraffe. Don't know how substantiated that is, but if anyone has any information about a leopard taking an eland, I would love to hear it. Murembi, you're asking why snort alarms for lion threats. I'm assuming you mean any animals. It's just to let everyone else know that there is a predator close by. Many animals give alarm calls, and it can be a whistle, or I think it's a mountain reedbuck. Give a very strange sounding whistle as an alarm call, but animals will bark or huff or give various different snorty sounds to alert other group members that there's a predator nearby. Stephen, that's a brilliant question. When impala leap in zigzags, are they showing off or just confusing everyone? It depends who's around. Sometimes I think especially youngsters, it's play, it's practice, it's exercise, it's showing off, that sort of thing. They will sometimes, if they're being chased by a predator, the theory is that they do great big leaps to possibly show how strong and powerful they are, and they are not the right one to choose to be eaten. That's one theory. So yeah, there's a few theories as to why they do it. They will sometimes do it to show how strong they are, if they're showing off in amongst a group. So probably a bit of a combination. of the both, Stephen. Moonlight at midnight. Thank you very much for being here, Moonlight at midnight. Oh, we're just going to have a quick look at this tree squirrel drinking, and then Moonlight at midnight, we're going to go back to your favourite pan at Aldonio, but that's very, very cute. Look at that. See, there is no way we would be able to observe this if it wasn't for these cameras. That squirrel will be gone. Gone in a heartbeat if there was a vehicle or if you were there on foot. I almost want to be quiet so we don't disturb it. I don't know why I always feel the urge to go quiet when animals are drinking. He's having a good drink. See, this is quite a dangerous pastime for something like this squirrel. Out in the open. Not even in a rush to leave. But I think it was at Lantoro. One of these squirrels was taken by a African hawk eagle, I think. This is a risky business, hanging around out in the open. Any eagles or predators, especially from the air, would see this silhouette quite clearly and come in and potentially pounce on this little squirrel. Finding some good stuff to eat there. What's he got? I do enjoy how squirrels maneuver things with their hands. I don't see how anyone could call that anything other than hands in this situation. They're very dexterous. They turn it round, eat the bottom bit, move it around. I'm not sure what that is. So it looks like a funny shape for a seed or something. That's so cute. Let's see how this squirrel is now sort of against, not quite against, but whatever it is, that looks like a termite mound or something. Now masking that silhouette a little bit more. You don't want to be out in the open. I actually heard a story about dwarf mongoose. Lots of these small little predator-prone mammals try to stay out of the way. Things like dwarf mongoose, they don't often hang around in a road or if they're crossing an open area. And I've actually got a friend who's seen it with his own eyes, that a group of dwarf mongoose, I'd heard the story about it but never had evidence, that they will form like a mat of mongoose and all sort of move as one if they're crossing an open area. And I've got a friend who saw it. They all sort of gather together, not sort of biting onto one another, but stand very, very close together and move so they look more like one big dark furry object rather than tasty little snack morsels if they do need to move across a open area. I might know what this squirrel's eating, actually. And there's a chance it could be quite quite unpleasant, possibly. I don't think I'm going to discuss what I think that squirrel might be eating, but that's all right. I'm glad he's finding some nutrition in it. Okay, so who have we got here? Moonlight at Midnight, please do keep watching the show. I am sure we will go back to Oldonio soon. David, you're asking, how do impalas stay so calm when their life feels like an extreme sport? Great question, David. I was actually asked that recently, and I concluded that nature has just evolved to give them the capacity to not live on edge all the time, otherwise they wouldn't survive.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Best sighting I've presented, I found myself with wild dogs. We chased the dogs around, chased them around. They ate an impala, we got the end of that. Then another impala went into Gowrie Dam down the road there, and the wild dogs went around. Eventually the impala came close to the bank. One wild dog went and grabbed it and then just pulled it out and just did what wild dogs do. It was an emotional experience, but it was very, very special.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
We are here with a male leopard.
Got here. That's a lovely idea. Let's move over to King's Camp. I think we have some terrapins across there. I was actually in the Timbavati yesterday. It was super hot yesterday, but today it's like being in a different country. I do enjoy watching these terrapins actually. The one at the front, it looks like it's got its front feet lifted as well. They look like statues. They don't look real, do they? Oh, squirrel's back. Probably having a drink of water to get any residual remnants of eating out the way, but it's thirsty work. There is quite a lot of, maybe not quite a lot, there is some moisture in lots of foods that many of these animals feed on, to the point that sometimes animals don't necessarily have to drink. They can survive if there is enough moisture in their food. This really is a thirsty little squirrel. David, you're saying drinking out of regret. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Moonlight at midnight. Please do keep watching. Well, you never quite know what's going to turn up on these cameras. You never quite know. There's a risky little squirrel. Look, out in the open, he's asking for trouble. Let's go, off he goes. Let's go back across to King's Camp. And see if our very stationary terrapins are still present in their statue poses. They are. They will be out here on this log trying to... Oh, one at the front got his mouth open. All to do with thermoregulation normally. We often see them they might hitch a ride on a hippo, out sunning themselves. I think these are probably hinged terrapins, but I'm never quite sure. I think the hinged terrapins have got slightly flatter shells than the marsh terrapins, and they are the only two really. You can hear the wind here at King's Camp. King's Camp is probably an hour from where I am now. So this wind is, if my internet doesn't make it, you can hear the wind in this area today. That will be why. Jamie, you're pointing out that these guys do sometimes snack on poop as well. I think you are indeed correct, but let's not dwell too much on that. Let's try and avoid too many discussions around coprophagia today on a nice Sunday lunchtime. Sam, you're asking what's the difference between a terrapin and a turtle? Ha, Sam. I've learned something recently. I've always said that a tortoise is land, although leopard tortoises can swim, but tortoises are land things. Terrapins are freshwater, and turtles are marine, so saltwater. However, I discovered recently that in the States, it's turtle is used interchangeably. It's like saying, I'm trying to think of something. I can't think of an example now. But in the States, the term is used interchangeably. So that would be what I would say, Sam. But it may be different if you're from the States. It's an interchangeable term. I only learnt that recently. David, you're saying, when duty calls. When duty calls, indeed. Oh, the sun's coming out a little bit there now. I have learnt something else in the last 10 days that I would like to share with everyone. Has anyone else ever heard of chiggers? Please do let us know if you have heard of chiggers or have had any experience with chiggers. Get in touch. It is a term and an organism that I discovered about 10 days ago. So before I share what they are, I would love to hear your experience with chiggers. Chiggers. Send it through if you know what they are, because I know what they are now, to my extreme disappointment. But every day is indeed a school day. They look like ornaments. Maggie, yes, you could say that. That could also work. Maggie, you're saying terrapins have webbed feet, turtles have flippers, and tortoises have little stumpy legs. That would also work. There's also, I seem to remember from way back when, something to do with the way their heads can move as well, I think, is another defining factor. But more for the language term, I didn't realise that in America the term turtles was used completely interchangeably for terrapins as well. Stephen, you're asking, is chiggers an American term? I don't think so. It might be. It is quite a broad term for the thing that I am referring to. My friend from the States did indeed know what they are, but they're basically they're mites, and there's lots and lots and lots of different types of mites, but I think as a sort of overview, I think chiggers is just sort of a colloquial term used, but they are mites that live in the outside place, either in soil or in grass or in vegetation, and I got absolutely hammered by what I believe to be chiggers about 10 days ago. They're little microscopic things, microscopic organisms, and they bite and they itch badly. We're fairly used to tick bites here. If we've been out in the bush, especially in the summer, it's not uncommon at all to check each other. Oh, we've lost the terrapins. Let's go back to Aldonio for Moonlight at Midnight. I've got some giraffe popping in to say hello. But yeah, we're relatively trying to avoid, long grass. But if we've been in the bush and we've had to walk through long grass, we'll it's sort of standard practice to check yourself of an evening for ticks, but we've all had tick bites and lots. I haven't, but I know many people that have had tick bite fever. It makes you quite poorly. But these chiggers, or I believe to be chiggers, absolute different ball game. I wanted to pull my skin off. They're incredibly itchy. And they form sort of like little moist vesicles, whereas tick bites, they're just red and a bit itchy if you scratch them. But yeah, I discovered, first of all, I thought they were tick bites, but it was actually someone else that pointed out to me, are they really? Have you really pulled 40 ticks off you? And I had not, so we believe they were chiggers or something horrible. So I've been in a foul mood for the last week or 10 days because I've been so itchy. Multi-bites, tick bites, fairly standard practice. Yes. They were not nice. And you can't even sort of check yourself for them and pick them off. So I'm slightly outside paranoid at the moment, which is not ideal in my profession. But yeah, I even resorted to calamine lotion. I don't know if anyone was when they were a kid, had chicken pox or measles, used to get daubed with that horrible smelly pink stuff. I even specifically went, oh, look at these guys. Oh, something else I did recently. I took part in the Big Birding Day for the first time. I don't know if anyone is in South Africa. Took part in the Big Birding Day on the 6th of December. It's basically you've got 24 hours to find as many birds as you can, either in a 50-kilometre radius or a 6-kilometre radius. So please, if you are in South Africa and you did take part in the Big Birding Day on the 6th of December, please let me know which section you entered and what your numbers were like. Look at these. I assume they're two boys here. I can't quite see. The elands are like, what are you doing? Are they eland coming in? Yeah. This doesn't look, it's maybe getting there, it doesn't look super intense, but it could come to that. These giraffe have been known to fight to the death. As they get older, they develop big sort of, there is quite a bit of shoving going on here actually. Let's see what's going to pan out here. Look at them leaning on each other. That's a lot of lean. These giraffe are huge animals. One of them catches the other off balance. There's a big problem. There's stories of one male giraffe landing a killer blow. Yeah, this is getting slightly more aggressive now. Crazy to think that these giraffe have the same number of vertebrae in their necks as us humans have. And look, they're lifting their heads up there, try and look even bigger. As we often say, animals don't really want to come to blows because someone could get hurt and nobody wants that. But if they are fairly equally matched in size, in weight, in social status, then this is how it's resolved. So yeah, they develop, as they get older, they develop sort of calcifications on their skull, on their head. Makes their heads even heavier, acting like clubs. Could you not just come left a little bit, boys? You're gonna move out of shot. No. They have gone to conduct their business elsewhere by the looks of it. Everyone's sharing that shade quite nicely. I'm not sure what the temperatures are like. Up there, Aldonia at the moment, but it's like it might be a bit warm. Rupert, you are asking, you've heard giraffes show homosexual tendencies, is that true? I've got no idea, Rupert. I would need to go and do extensive research in science-based papers to even consider passing comment on that one, I'm afraid. That is the problem these days with so much information, and not just on this topic, but so many topics. It's so important that we try really hard not to share. Let's go across to Mahadi Masuri, I believe, to have a look at some hippos over there. Yes, to share, I was just saying, Rupert, to share stuff that has not been verified in this day. When I first started, look at these guys out of the water having a snooze. Even when I first started guiding, which was sort of 12, 13 years ago, while the internet was present, there is just so much more information out there. It's an absolute barrage. You can ask the World Wide Web a question and get 20 different answers back. So I prefer to either use books. Today with me I have my okay, yes, there is a breeze here as well today. That camera is swaying gently in the breeze. I've actually got a camera at my house and it's on a tree, and it triggers the motion detector every time the wind blows the trees, so I'm going to have to come up with a plan around that. But yes, so apologies if this camera is swaying slightly, that is the wind. But the books I have with me today, I've got my giant bird book of sub-Saharan Africa, I've got my Estes behaviour book, I've got a brilliant insectopedia, I've got my Southern African reptile book, and I have my trusty Game Ranger in your backpack book, because It's been proven multiple times that various search engines in the World Wide Web give incorrect answers. So it's a dangerous game to play. I prefer to either just use books or dig around in various science-based papers, research papers, peer-reviewed papers to get to real responses, or at least verified responses. These hippos are having a lovely snooze here. We have some more hippos across at Tembo Plains. Let's see if they're relaxed as our Masai Mara hippos here at Mahali, Missouri. Isn't it? It feels weird seeing hippos snoozing in the grass. This is how I associate hippos more. Just slightly submerged. Chilling there in the water. I actually had a long conversation with someone a few days ago about hippos and their ability to swim. I've always believed that they've got very heavy bones and they are not really able to swim. But someone recently said that they could swim. So I've been digging around trying to find. I would love to see video footage of a swimming hippo for me to confirm that, but I've always believed that hippos walk along the bottom of the water, or walk on the base of the river or dam. But someone said a while ago that they could swim, and I don't have a definitive answer for that yet, so for now I'm sticking to what I've always believed. But science really is evolving so quickly these days. It's difficult to know what's what. It is lovely seeing all these animals enjoy nice high water levels everywhere across the continent. Well, most places, many places across the continent at the moment. Everything is bursting into life with the rains. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie has said Anne Innes Dagg's pioneering work between the 1950s and 1970s. She's often called the Jane Goodall of giraffes. Dagg observed in the wild that homosexual behaviour is much more in evidence than heterosexual behaviour. She described gentle necking leading to arousal and mounting among males. Interesting. Thank you for that, Maggie. I had not heard that. But thank you for sharing this information. I will actually save that. And that is my bedtime reading for this evening, Maggie, so thank you. I shall be investigating further. I saw a clip, I think it was yesterday or even this morning, I saw a clip of, I think it was in the Kruger, someone posted a clip of a tiny little hippo that had been separated from its pod by rising floodwaters or rising rivers, rising waters. It was desperately trying to get back to its pod. It was very, I don't know if it made it, it was just a short clip, but it was very sad to see this tiny little baby hippo. Baby hippos are very, very cute. Vicky, you are asking, do hippos ever eat meat? It has been recorded, yes. Nibbling on carcasses. I know they've been known to chomp impalas and things that have been in the water, but I think that's more a defensive thing. But it has been recorded, Vicky, yes. There's I've got lots of theories about what things eat, and they're evolving as I go. The more I see, the more I'm starting to think that all these very strict, rigid dietary preferences that we believe animals to have may not be the case. Just one of the examples is I've got some euphorbias that apparently are highly toxic to most things. Let's go back across to Aldonio, see what rotations we've had, or if those two males are still busy there doing whatever it is they are doing. I've got some euphorbias that I suppose, well, they're highly toxic. They've got a white milky latex that burns if you get it on your skin, and the whole winter they have been eaten flat by animals here.
My full name is Mpomu Tusitikani. I grew up in Soweto. My first animal that I filmed said to dog. Okay, no, wait. My first animal that I filmed, I think it was an impala. Best sighting ever, I would say it was actually this year, 2024. But it was at this Cedric when we had Mulwati and TP on a warthog kill. I think we have to cut it.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
There's lots of giraffe here today. all looks mostly quite calm here today at Aldonio. No elephants arriving to cause mayhem. Normally a fairly constant stream of animals coming to utilise. I wonder if anyone's actually ever done a real count on different species or even different individuals that have come to utilise this small pan in a 24-hour period. Let's head across to Founders. I know we've been getting some lovely views of rhino, and I enjoyed the warthogs at Founders as well. Ah, yes, there we go. This little one having a nice mud paddle. Mirembe, you are asking, I'm assuming you mean those giraffe, why do they chew food again after swallowing? To get as much out of it as possible. Ruminants have quite an effective digestive system. They will utilise what they pick up well, as will their stomach structure, and they re-chew that just to get as much goodness out of it as they can. These rhinos are not ruminants, they are hindgut fermenters, and their digestive system aren't as brilliant, same with elephants, but they are brilliant at covering themselves in mud. I'm just trying to remember if I've ever seen a rhino get all the way over when they roll. I used to ride. I used to have a horse, and we used to love seeing if a horse could manage to get itself all the way from one side to the other. I'm just trying to think if I've ever seen a rhino do it. They're not the most manoeuvrable of animals, so possibly not. Horses are slightly more streamlined. Oh, it's my go, my go, my go. I think they've all taken a turn in that mud. That's awesome. Let's watch and see if we think this rhino could get all the way over. No, I don't think so. I know I have frequently seen rhinos with tired lines on each side, but the top sort of crest, that spine, has often been dry. Oh, that looks so good. It's gonna get up your nose. I wonder if it annoys them, because that mud is all gonna dry up those nostrils. I suppose they know what they're doing. Might even be intentional to stop as much dust and things going up there. Someone is having a good splash closer to the camera as well, I think. It was that goose that was splashing around. Oh, zebras are incoming. Karen, you're asking, they have such weird skulls. What else are they related to? I think their closest relatives are sort of tapirs, but I think they're across towards sort of the, you would think they'd be more sort of hippo relatives, but I think they're closer towards sort of horses. They're all classified in the odd-toed ungulates. So horses, they have one toe, one hoof. Rhinos have 3 toes. But remember, that horn makes their face look stranger than it actually is. Those horns aren't part of their actual skull. If you see a rhino skull, there is no horn, so it's actually quite a long face. But yeah, they are strange looking, very strange looking animals. Look at that view of that enormous hump there as well. But yeah, that mud must dry like all around their mouths, but I suppose those crinkles in their noses, in their lips, those folds, they probably would carry quite a lot of mites, ectoparasites, so maybe it's intentional to get all that mud in between those folds and those creases to get rid of any annoying parasites. I can relate at the moment. If I thought that rolling around in mud would have helped, I would have absolutely done it. That is a very happy rhinoceros, I think. I'm assuming that because I haven't heard from anyone, no one listening today did the big birding day on the 6th of December. We did the 6 kilometre radius and we ended up on 90 birds, which isn't brilliant. We missed quite a few that we should have got, but you often find that is the way when you're trying to find things. Rodney, you're asking how many rhino species are left on Earth. There's various taxonomic splits of a lot of them that I struggle to keep up with, but basically 5 was the last I heard. I don't know if anyone has been more recently lumped together or split further. Started to split into subspecies, but in Africa, the main species are the black rhino and the white rhino. This is a white rhino. Oh, and then I think the other 3 are Javan, greater one-horned, and another one that I can never... Sumatran, there we go. Sumatran, Javan, and greater one-horned. I think this white rhino has the highest numbers. And I think it's one of the Asian species that has terrifyingly low numbers. But I do know the white rhino as well. They are split into the southern and the northern. And I actually went to a talk, was it early this year, about various splits, geographical splits in black rhino species. But short version, 5 was the last I heard anyway. That goose is making lots of noise, having a delightful bath there as well. Everyone's cooling off today. A goose photobomb. We got 90 birds in our big birding day in a 6 kilometre radius. Some teams, because it all uploads online, some teams were like 230 species. in a 6 kilometre radius, which is absolutely insane. But it was quite hot, and ended up going into town to get ice cream, if I'm honest. But it's good fun, it's a good challenge, it keeps you focused, and while it shouldn't be a competition, it's sometimes quite exciting when it is. But yeah, with 90 birds in 24 hours, we were not anywhere close to any leaderboards, unfortunately. But there are people that plan these birding competitions very carefully. They will plan a route, they will have schedules, they will scope out areas beforehand to see which are going to be the best birding locations. Matt, you're asking, do rhinos ever play dead? Not that I'm aware of, not for any sort of specific I'm pretending to be dead reason. They'll certainly stay very still quite often for very long periods of time, but I think that's more because that's what they're choosing to do, as opposed to playing dead. That thanatosis, that display, lots of snakes are well known for it. I think, is it possums also do it? Just trying to think what other animals do, but lots of animals do, but I'm not aware of rhinos using that as a defence mechanism. Lola, you're asking which rhino is the largest and which is the smallest. Without checking, Lola, I'm not entirely sure. My gut would say the white rhino is the biggest. Maybe the Sumatran is smallest, but that's a guess, Lola. But that's what I would have. That's what my gut says, but I'm not entirely sure without cheat checking. You often find animals that live in forests, and I think most of the Asian species are forest based as opposed to sort of grassland based. Forest things tend to be smaller. That's a massive generalisation, but I'm thinking of things like forest elephants, lots of thick cover, dense cover in forests, in rainforests. Not insects. Insects go probably against that, but that's a massive sweeping statement. It's busy here today at Old Domino. These gorgeous animals coming in. And everyone's very relaxed today. Oh, I do mean founders. Look at them, the grazing must be coming back here. And everyone's sharing so nicely. Often these areas around waterholes are completely bare, where they've been utilised so often. The incoming and outgoing animals, often devoid of trees as well, but just that little spattering of rain. Promotes that grass growth. I think that's a lovely idea. We've got some elephants finally joining in at Aldonio. I would love to see who we've got. My favourite one is still that little one who often stands in the middle of the pan, circled by all the adults. So let's go. Oh, that is not a little one. This is a big guy. Everyone else has dispersed. And rightly so. Interesting, he's coming straight in for a shower there. I found that often they'll come in, have a drink, and then move on to the ablutions, but not always the case. Lovely to watch them doing this, and they do such a good job. It's like excellent coverage. So let's see if this guy's on his own or if he's got buddies who are also going to be joining him. Often when animals pause like that, like he just did, it means they're assessing something. So have we got someone else incoming, or is he just going to stand and have a little bit of a think there? Cheryl, you like this guy and you've called him Twisty. I'm not actually sure. Someone was asking me recently about oh, thank you for updating me about the Sumatran. My gut was right. That's excellent. And I've also had an update that rhino cannot voluntarily roll over. Anatomy and physics prevent it. Yeah, I'm unsurprised. They're not the most mobile of physicalities. But yes, Cheryl, you call this guy Twisty. I know some of these big boys that visit Aldonio regularly have got names. I only know one ton, and floppy ear. I know one ton. I know floppy ear. And also, I don't know if he's got a name, but that little one that stands in the middle, I think he's my favourite. EJ, you're saying rolling skills, proof that rhinos and pugs are not related. Has he put his... Let's see where he splashes. I thought he might have rested his foot then to lift his leg up to get under his armpit better or something. Look, he's got his foot rested on a log there, on a rock or something. So these big bulls, they don't need anyone around, but you do often find them in not particularly close, but loosely knit groups of males. Sometimes sort of 7, 8, 9 males, but they don't tend to sort of hang around closely together. I think we often see them here together because it's a water point more than anything. And this is just where they all need to be for a drink. So
Join me at Mabula Private Game Reserve from 6 to 11 May 2026 for a 5-night private safari for just 6 guests. Just incredibly exciting. Enjoy guided walks, take part in rhino conservation efforts, and explore Mabula's beautiful landscapes from open plains to rocky hills, alive with birds, animals, and vibrant plant life.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Whoa. This is action-packed.
My full name is Emojis. Best part of my job is coming to see nature. Worst part of my job is logging. That's the worst thing ever, because you have to log amount of footage. You sit in front of that computer and yeah, you think of deleting the footage, but no, they need the footage. If I want a camel, probably a soccer player. I know some people don't believe me, but I'm very good, and I'm very fast.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every safari live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Avoid that area because they remember what happened there last time. Is that a grudge? Or is that just a learned behaviour? I don't know the answer. Because we can't really ask them, how do you feel about this situation? Are you going to continue to hold it against them, sort of thing? We don't know the emotion behind that behaviour really. But do they recall unpleasant events? I believe so, yes. I actually saw a very interesting piece of primary research very recently. It hasn't been formalised and written up yet, but there was some experimentation? It's not quite the right word. Science-based investigations into whether or not African elephants could recognise themselves in a mirror, and it appears that the conclusion was that they couldn't, but I think there's still multiple scientists reviewing this work, and it will be formatted into a peer-reviewed paper over time, so I don't want to say too much because it hasn't got to that formal scientific publication stage just yet. But things like that absolutely fascinate me. Animal cognition, thought processes. how we can often take good guesses at behaviours or the emotion behind the behaviours. How do we ever really know? I know there's been lots of research around scanning brains of animals in different scenarios. I would love to go and have a look at a beautiful sable at Founders. They are such regal animals. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just the most stunning animal? Look at those, I love their facial markings. And it mystifies me that they don't injure each other with those insane horns. Or get stuck in trees and on things, but I guess you learn to you learn to manage what you've got. But that is absolutely gorgeous. Oh look, is that a baby sable? That almost looks like youngster, female and bull there. Wow, look at him. I've never seen a baby sable. I'm assuming that's a baby sable there on the left. I'm just trying to see if that little... I think that small one's just starting to develop horns. Oh look, but wait, there's... What's that at the back there? Maybe it's a baby one of those. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that young animal is. There's zebra, there's like 4 different species here. And I'm not sure, I know that small thing isn't a baby zebra or a baby rhino. I'm just trying to get another look at that animal that was behind there. That is quite impressive, this big sable bull's horns. So don't forget to get in touch if you would like to tell me what that baby animal was behind, whether or not it was a baby. Look, there he is. It's got to be a baby sable. Okay, that would make sense. There was a blip. This is the first time I've ever seen a baby sable, and that is excellent news. That these sables seem to be breeding so... And the sable's gone. Thank you very much, Zoomers, for confirming that is the first time I've seen a baby sable. Very, very cool. Lovely to hear that there are youngsters there. Oh, those zebra are right in the water now. Also, amazing looking animals. Look at the coat patterns on there. I saw a zebra in the Kruger a few days ago, and it was the most bizarre patterning on any zebra I've ever seen. It looked like all of the stripes had been shredded, for want of a better way of explaining it. It looked like all the black stripes had been passed through a shredder and then sort of stuck back on again. It was almost like it was like a blur. It was a very strangely patterned animal. Ah, yeah, look at that little one. See, if you put that baby in a field on its own, I'm not sure I would have worked out what it was. Oh, but yes, I can see those little horns coming now as well. There they are. Okay. Look how companionable. Companionable, is that a word? Everyone's just happy to relax in everyone else's company. I'm just wondering if this sable's going to come and have a drink. Kwame, you're asking why have white faces and bellies for contrast? I think one of the reasons is to break up body or body shape, body outline, and I also think it's got something to do with temperature regulation. I think one theory is the white reflects the heat coming off the ground, I believe, and also possibly for a type of camouflage. But those facial markings are stunning on these sable. Look at those horns. Jess, you're saying they must be closely related to roans or roans. They sit in the same tribe. So roan, sable, oryx or gemsbok. They're in the tribe Hippotragini, in a similar group of antelope, the horse antelopes. Roan are actually stunning looking animals as well. I saw a roan 2 days ago in the Kruger, in the northern Kruger, which is very unusual. Don't often get an opportunity to see. There are eland, there are sable, there are roan up in the northern parts. Wow, everyone is perfectly happy in each other's company. Zebra going to go in and mush all that water up. Those zebra tails constantly swishing. But interestingly, the sables are not. I've never thought of that before. I've never seen a sable standing next to a zebra before. But if you look, that's an instinctive swish of those zebra's tail to keep the flies off them. But the sable is not flicking its tail. I wonder why. I wonder if that's got something to do with tail manoeuvrability? See that? I'm watching that sable's tail. Oh, there we go. There's a flick. Okay, now they're flicking. That would make more sense. But definitely not as constant as those zebra. I'm just looking at the coloration. There is a theory that zebra stripes have also got something to do with impacting flies' ability to land on them. Apparently flies can't judge depth perception, so don't land. And I think they tested that by putting stripy blankets on horses. But But that to me would mean it would be more likely to be the other way round. Maybe sables and zebras have a different, I'm trying to think of the word, like physiological structure that impacts how the tails can move, or how automatically the tails can move, because zebra don't stand there all day thinking swish the tail, swish the tail. It's more of a reflex reaction. And I'm looking at the shape of those, like how the tail joins the body on both animals. I've never had a chance to observe this before. Putty, you're asking what's rhino's lifespan? I know our black white rhino here, an old rhino would be around about 40. I'm not sure about the Asian species. Again, if I had to guess, I would possibly say slightly shorter lifespans in the slightly smaller species, but I could be wrong. But a 40-year-old rhino is a very elderly rhino. And Kathy, that's a really good point as well. These, weird that you're saying their manes have stripes but their tails don't. I'm trying to get a look. There is a stripe, they don't stay still enough. Okay, I'm picking that. That foal has just walked behind that one I was looking at. They do have stripes going down the back to a certain extent, but no, you're right, Kathy, not on the tip, on that dark tip of the tail. You're right. I came up with the pondering, I think last time I was here, about if you think too hard about things, you can really get lost in it. But what is the point of zebras' manes? But it could be defence. It could be all sorts of things to stop if the males are biting each other. But yeah, if you think too closely about these things, you'll start losing sleep about it, Kathy. Such a treat though to be able to spend time watching this lovely male sable. See, that's actually a really interesting shot. Oh no, he's swishing his tail now. And it's slightly skew. That sable's holding his tail a little bit to the right by the looks of it, unless... Oh no, see, now he's swishing. Incoming. Oh, are we gonna get some interaction here? That's quite a funny image. That looks that looks like there's you can't see that head that's bent over. So what were we discussing earlier? This is a female, and it's really easy to see the size. That's not appropriate, boy. She's trying to have a drink. But look at the size difference. And And she's in a very vulnerable position there. But it's really easy to see how much bigger these males are than the females when you see it like this. It's very difficult, even if they're stood, 10 meters or 15 meters apart from each other. It can be quite difficult to compare those sizes. But look, that is amazing. Stood right next to each other, and he is enormous compared to her. This could be an interesting interaction coming up. Oh, warthog's going to come and disturb them. I actually saw giraffes mating for the first time this year, but we might get an opportunity to see it now. I think he's gonna carrying on following this girl for a while by the looks of it. He's almost trying to keep her next to the water. Oh. There has been, I've also been observing in the last month or so, that warthog's like, yeah, you guys do whatever you're gonna do. I'm very much gonna be partaking in a mud wallow right here, unconcerned about your exploits. I wonder if this is, wow, everyone is here. Founders is pumping today. I've seen quite a few male giraffe following or courting the females like this in the last sort of 6 weeks or so. It's been quite a common sight. He's almost ushering her back towards the water, isn't he? David, you are saying their backs don't look conducive for mating because they're too slopey. Keep watching, David. We might be able to test that theory. Males do spend extended periods of time following females around many species. Rhinos are also known for, the males will follow females for months and waiting for an opportunity to mate. Shame, he is actually blocking her from leaving the water, isn't he? But if she is receptive, she will stand still. But David, as you say, those backs aren't conducive to, particularly conducive to mating, so he is going to need a little bit of cooperation there. Run, girlie. Oh, have we lost this camera? Yes, we have. We've lost that camera. Let's head back to El Dono. Who knows what is going to pan out there in the future? We shall see. Moonlight at Midnight. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us. We are back here at Stony Point. We've got a few more penguins out of the water now, and look at these cormorants also having a blast here, drying their wings. The ocean seems quite calm here today at Stony Point. That's unusual. It seems windier across on our low-feld cameras. That's highly unusual. So while we enjoy these lovely scenes at Stony Point, my other exciting news update is, has anyone ever heard of playing bush bingo? I know it has been seen a few times before, but I had a great time playing Kruger bingo over the course of 2 nights or 3 days. Everyone makes a card for the other people, allocate points to each thing. We did it where we did 5 mammals, 5 flora, 5 sort of smaller reptile-y type things, 5 occurrences. One of them was a kudu alarm barking, another one was any mating mammals, and had an absolute blast playing at Kruger bingo. I would highly recommend it if anyone is going on a trip, even if it's not into a wildlife area. If you're in an area just enjoying scenery, it really does keep you focused and keep you looking for special things. I lost, but I didn't mind because it was so much fun. Oh, lovely. I would love to go across to Lentora and see those baboons. I'm getting quite fond of those baboons up there, watching them feeding. These cormorants are having a lovely time drying out their wings. Slightly precariously balanced on those poles there. They're not the best at perching. More designed for movement through the water. And we can get some Are those baboons there right at the camera? I'm surprised we don't lose more cameras, to be honest. What with elephants rubbing on trees and... Oh, look at those! They look like whirligig beetles there in the water. I do enjoy watching these baboons going about their business. And like I said at the start of the show, we haven't had any sad instances of lost babies that we're aware of. Lacey, no, we made it up. You can't. I'm sure you could buy a board, but we just did each other's boards. We had 25 squares, and we came up with some difficult, some easy, some in the middle. Allocated points between 25. There were 25 pointers, 50 pointers, 75 pointers, and 100 pointers. And it was great fun. So it's we just made our own. But yeah, we had some real toughies. We had some of our 100 pointers, bush pig, sable. Because you don't see them very often at all in Kruger.
we'll see you out on safari.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website. Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
How cool is this?
And I lay out there my favourite birds, those crested guinea fowl, but we did not see them this time. This baboon is gonna. Yes, this Jackie baboon's 5 points. Yeah, so this camera quite low, but I can guarantee you, if we had a game of bush bingo, everyone departs. All the usual suspects disappear normally. Baboon swimming. I don't know, I think, Jackie, you're saying baboon swimming 100 points. Have we seen them? So you've got to base it on past experience. Have we seen them? I've never seen baboons swimming in this pan. But maybe we should have a round of. Having a look. We should have a round of live at the waterhole bush bingo. But then I think that could be heavily skewed by which cameras we view. Different species, if we're trying to find a superb starling but not come away from the low-power cameras isn't going to work. Oh, it looks like it's time to ship out of here. Everyone's on the move. Oh, that's a big baboon. Gosh. Oh no, I thought they were going to be moving out for the day. Maybe not. But yeah, that is someone has just pointed out that bush bingo might be a little bit tricky because it would basically be down to what cameras we were able to view at what time. We could be quite severely hampered if we were trying to find species that were not in that area. And that is what we did. We know there's some species that are more likely than others in different areas. It was great fun. I think my favourite thing we saw this time was we saw an ostrich with about 25 different little chickies. These baboons that are in this camera, I think we've got 5 minutes left of the show, but I think it could be over in 2 if these baboons carry out a demolition job. Oh, I feel... Ooh, is it gonna go? Oh, that baboon really... I felt like I felt it was maybe a bit edgy, the way that baboon was watching us there. Dale, you're saying baboons and elephants really do make these cameras sweat. It is like they do it on purpose. They are... these baboons could rip this camera apart though. I've lost 2 camera traps to hyenas before. They got eaten. And the second one, I actually managed to retrieve a memory card out of it, and the last shot was of like a tooth. But yeah, baboons and elephants really do make these cameras sweat, Dale. Back off! Oh! That camera moved and the baboon went, what was that? Oh, I think that's brilliant. Oh, you don't know what they're doing behind the camera though. Like, maybe they're all stood behind the camera going, oh, if we pull this out, if you chew this bit and I chew this bit and then you run away with this bit, they won't be able to see what we're doing. That is hilarious. We've only got 2 minutes left, and I don't know which is going to be finished first, the show or the camera. That's so cool though. But I honestly don't feel that these cameras are disruptive to these animals. There is lots of talk in social media at the moment, as there should be, around ethics, around bush ethics, ethics in guiding, ethics in the observation of nature and of animals, not just in Africa, but all around the world. And I really do believe that these cameras do not have any sort of negative impact. If it was the case, we would see animals wouldn't come near them, they wouldn't be relaxed, they would be twitchy all the time. This is not an edgy baboon. That is a gorgeous scene. That is one relaxed family there. It's a little bit uncomfortable. What a fabulous show though. Those beautiful images of those sable. It's actually been really busy today. Multiple species on camera at the same time. What a pleasure to be able to watch all of these animals without causing any disruption or disturbance. Possibly just some fun while they may dissect our cameras. We will be back tomorrow. Maybe not at Lentoro. We will see how the baboons feel about allowing us to stay. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all so much for joining us today on Live at the Waterhole. I should be back tomorrow, tech allowing. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope to see you then. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.